What went wrong with our education system? We are going to find out in this series. Hi, my name is Mrs. 𝗟𝗏𝗦𝗃𝗧𝗏. I welcome you into another episode of Life Unscripted. In Life Unscripted, I share with you how you can be able to become a student for life over academic session in order to achieve optimum and sustainable success. And in this particular episode, I want to center on what really went wrong with our education system, right? Now, write this down, and as inspired by one of my mentor, Dr. 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗀is personal. School is general. If you are with pen, uh, kindly invite your friends, your concubine, your relative, your friends, your enemies as well, because when you copy and share to them, when you copy the link and share to them, you understand that the envy is less when everyone is succeeding. Now, going into the business of today, what really went wrong with the education system? The first thing is that people do not understand what education is. We just think that there is something wrong with education, but there is something wrong with school. When you understand things for what it is easier for you. How many of us know things for what it is, depending on what situation it is in? Because sometimes we don't understand things from its concept. We always explain things from its context. So most of the time, the right concept, right, has been misused in another context that made you to have the wrong concept of things. Actually, it's not your fault, but if after you watch this and you still remain like that, it will become your fault. So it's today that you're going to take the personal responsibility to bring back that power of education into the system. So what is education? Education came from the Latin word educere, and that educere means to draw out, to bring forth, to bring out, to lead forth. And so it's understand that there is that particular innate ability in man which God has deposited that needs to be drawn out by essence of filling in with that education. All right. So you didn't come as just a clean slate. There is some attributes that need to be drawn out. It recognizes your potentials that needs to go to school to move that potential to scale. But right from the historically, education was very, very right with its great purpose. But the problem is that the people who were able to use this concept, use this at the wrong context. So because of selfish interest, people decided to use the concept of education to be able to hypnotize people into their selfish ventures. So because of that, they give you certification, even when you can go to farm, even when you can go to farm and learn from your grandmother how to deal with this agriculture thing for the practical point of view. You made a first class in agriculture, but you can't even practice it. So the problem is not that there is something wrong with the school, with educational system. Education, there is nothing wrong with it. We just have the wrong people with the wrong concept of things. People who are very ignorant for what truly education is all about. Because education was meant to help you, but the school, which constitutes people, particularly the teachers who taught you, were the persons who were hypnotized historically, and they transfer that to you. And that's why at the peak stages of your life, when you should be learning how to draw out those potentials and find the expression, you become timid instead of being confident. You become you start doing things for what others are doing instead of drawing out to find expression for what you are called to do. So you become hypnotized. You're no longer doing things for what you should do. You are doing things because they said you should do it in the name of obeying instruction. So those facilitators are already hypnotized, and that's what they transfer to you. So there is totally nothing wrong with the educational system. The purpose of education and the essence is to be able to shape identity. But the point is that the people who are in the system that makes up the school, right, do not have this requisite knowledge. It took me time to be able to understand this. And when I knew that, I started to understand that education is personal, school is general. So there will be a school of thoughts that have sat down to say, oh, do this thing at this time, do this thing at this time. And that's why you keep obeying. You can't even find expression in what you are called to do. That's why you are so timid. When you come, you have something to say, you can't even say it. Yet you said you're educated. You're not educated, you just went to school. So this is the time for us to be able to wake up, to understand that the essence of education is to draw out, go study etymology and the morphology of the word education. You understand what I'm talking about? I studied education, a double major in university. And it was when I was studying Education 101, I saw the meaning of this. And then when I saw my mentor explain it on the board, I had to go back to go and read that book again. And I have a better understanding, and I saw where the problem is. And that's why you think school is scam. Truly, school is scam. It's just that it's not education that is a scam. Education is not a scam. It is the school. And what makes up the school are the people who taught you. So most of the times, we always think that things are not working the way they are, or things are failing. Things are not failing. It is actually people who are failing. And why they fail is because they don't have the requisite knowledge to be able to give the expected outcome. So one of the things you have to do is to take a personal responsibility to stop this particular movement of that particular school of thought and come into the realm of the true concept of education by personally developing yourself, educate yourself for what you are called to do. Because of you, people are going to get inspired to do it differently, and the core essence of education will be established over time. So don't even desire change when you are not ready to grow, because a lot of people want things to change, yet they are not growing. And you know, anything that you did that you have desired to see is change begins with you. And that's why today education is personal. You need to understand this thing. Don't blame anyone. Stop the blame game and take the personal responsibility by developing yourself first. Now I understood this. I'm taking it on a whole new level, and my result is speaking for me already. Whether or not you understand it, whether or not you have seen it, because when you follow through, that is the essence of relationship. And so when you understand the concept of relationship, you can now see that people are truly getting this thing right. It's just that so many people don't even know about it, and people are so lazy to do things because at the age when those things were meant to draw out, you were hypnotized. Let's come into this truth and begin to make education for what it is. Let's not just go to school, carry our bags and be early to school, and then we can't even go early to work. And we are always lazy to be able to find the shortest cut of everything, when we should apply our intelligence to be able to deal with complex situations, of which what education is meant to do for you. So there is nothing wrong with education system. It is the school that comprises the teachers which were hypnotized and have transfer that to you, and you have to say a stop to it by taking the personal responsibility for your personal development. And so this is the right time for you to harness and leverage on what I call sequential and strategic mentorship. See, what the school system did not give you, right? When you leverage on the right mentorship, you are going to get an edge. You will get the privilege of moving out of this context to be able to create that change. Don't just say you want to break the bias. You're already hypnotized. It's time for you to take the discipline to be able to get personal mentorship, get into the space. As my mentor will always say, he will tell you that when you fail to hang out in circles, you will be frustrated in cycles. So many people are getting busy but so unproductive. Why? Because the wrong concept of things, right? You know the wrong concept of things because the right concept was used in the wrong context. People were not able to do things for their own selfish reason, removing and now take away the core essence of what that thing should be in people's life. That's what happened to education. There is nothing wrong. It is just that people around there use selfish reasons. Read the history of education. You will understand what I'm talking about. I'm coming from a point of revelation, assimilation, and understanding. And you need to also understand it so that we put hands together to make it right. So one of the leverage that you need now to start your own discipline, because that course you studied was a course of discipline. That's why when you come out, you're expected to have a particular requisite. When you go to interviews, when you go to job, you possess those discipline and you build more on those capacities. That's what it qualifies you for. It doesn't qualify you. It doesn't qualify you to just come and sit down in a position and while away your time in the name of being successful because you have a fine job. It's a lie. It's very, very progressive. The essence of education is to draw out that innate abilities in you. And the essence is to shape identity. But many people are going through identity crisis. You should be asking, why are people experiencing lack in the midst of abundance? Why are people not getting it right? Even when there is enough for them to consume and get their lives better. Why? The evidence of learning is improved outcome, but the problem is that people do not have the discipline to take action. There is a whole lot of excuses over execution. And so It takes a body of discipline to be able to get you from a point of being interested to being committed to your personal growth. Because when you do that, you will find out that even people who drop out are successful. You need to ask them, what did they do specially? It is because they take that personal responsibility to educate themselves into the line of what they are called to do. So they are powerhouses in what they are called to do. But you are trying to please the society, and that is why you have been hypnotized in that particular season, and that is what you have carried out to a lot of things that you do that you no longer see result. It's time to say enough is enough. Get angry, get up and take the responsibility to change your life. You don't need to live a life by default. You need to live a life by design. And to live a life by design takes your conscious effort to make that decision today, to begin to take the person, educate yourself. This is how we are going. Don't blame anyone. It begins with you. It's okay for you to be confused. It's okay for us to be hypnotized at a point, but it is not okay for us to remain hypnotized. So it is time for you. Yeah, I appreciate you, Vivian Ikechi. Yeah, exactly. So leverage on mentorship. It is going to unravel those things to you. And that is why study is a royal behavior, because God conceals things. Read your Bible also. You will see it there. The laws of all these things for you to succeed is already made available. But it's just that we don't know the things for the right concept of what it is. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I am using the name of the Lord to beg you. Take the personal, if you want to break the bias, don't just say it. Act on it. It takes a lot to be integrity. A lot of people lose a lot of things because of integrity. Value systems are just, I don't even know what to. I was speaking with my husband this morning. He said that what really makes a nation is values. Hi, I thought on that thing. I'm still chewing that thought today, because I've seen that there are a lot of value systems that have gone down because we are already chasing for cash when we should develop ourselves for us to attract it. Look at our country. Because we are chasing cash, that's what has happened to us. And because we don't understand the right concept of value creation, right? That's why we are suffering. So let's take a personal responsibility to educate ourselves. Don't blame any school system. They have scammed you enough. Now it is time to not be the scammer yourself, to be the hammer, by actually taking personal discipline to actually do that. As a matter of fact, for those people who are in school, you have lost your confidence. You don't even know how to connect with people. You don't even know how to voice out that which you have in your mind. I have been able to develop basic networking secrets for you. Now, this is the amazing thing. The job you are going to get tomorrow is no longer about your certificate. It's about how much you are going to contribute, how much people you can relate with to transfer the solution of that company to the other, and in turn build capabilities that what you are called to do is meant for. You're not going to a job opportunity because you just want to sit in a position and act that you have arrived. No, you are there to build your capabilities in order to build your dreams. That's why even a medical student, after spending 6 years, will also go for housemanship for practicals to be able to certify that he's truly a medical doctor, and will still keep practicing and evolving until he becomes very powerful, because health is a very strategic thing. That's why this course is for you. You are going to learn how to avoid the mistakes in when it comes to networking with people, deal with that fear and shy demon to be able to boost up your self-worth, your self-esteem, to interact and connect with people. And of course, the timeless relationship building strategies that is going to help you build from the right source of who you are, not for what people think that you should do. So the other bonuses that are here is that you are going to learn how you can transfer the virtue of confidence into how you can make it a business for you to begin to cash out. That's one. The second one is that you are going to learn the academic excellence blueprint on how this particular networking, which is a life skill beyond a social thing, because it's therapeutic for you to network with people and connect with people. It feels so exciting to see people who are like minds. It gives you, I'm telling you the truth. What I'm telling you is based on experience. It gives you that particular therapeutic behavior. It's very, very therapeutic for you to connect with people. So you need to understand that every single thing I'm sharing with you has something to do with your academic excellence. If you want to also do that, as a first class, I have my down times, I have my up times, and I have my results. And I have been able to package that and share it with you as a bonus. You are also going to get a review session and of course a support group, so that you will ask questions progressively, because we believe that clarity is progressive. You don't get it figured out once. If you want to have that, we have slashed it as much as possible for students, for graduates, for undergraduates, for even employees who are at the crossroad to be able to do this. You can't even challenge your boss because you have lacked this confidence. It's time for you to take basic networking secrets that is going to help you overcome social anxiety and maximize your relationship for peak performance. It is time for you to take that action. You don't have any other. See, this is not going to last. The earlier you type BNS in the comment section, the faster our team is going to reach out to you for you to gain access. Trust me, when you come close into a relationship, we'll tell you more about what is about to happen and what is already happening that you are not aware of. Stop collecting data here and there running on social media. It is time to grab a relationship, sit down and model till you become. And then when you have the result, you can now share, because it is no longer about what you are saying. It's about you become a person of value based on integrity, because you do what you say beyond what you are saying. So it is time for you to actually build that network, to build a circle of people so you don't get frustrated in cycles. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you. This is also one of the personal development discipline you need to take in order to take your education process into a whole new level. Now you understand what education process and school system is. Now you know better. Take action today, because it's not in the words, it is in the doing. All right. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Thank you, Vivian Ikechi, for joining. And for all those who will still join, tag your friends, your enemies, your that student, that parent that needs to hear this. Tag them here, and let us take this message to a whole new level. And let's take the practice to bring the result that will help us stand on those stages to be able to defend our integrity. It is time for you to be part of the nation, because it is the values that defines a nation. I still remain your friend and your go-to-get edupreneur, as well as the founder of Confident Global Champions Network, Mrs. 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗃. And until I come your way again in the next episode of Life Unscripted, don't forget it is time to take the discipline of a pen and a paper to write or rewrite your script. Type BNS in the comments or click the link on my bio. Let's talk. And of course, subscribe for more. Bye-bye.